Imagine waking up one morning with a letter on your desk. Not an email, not a memo. A letter, handwritten in ancient ink, the parchment worn at the edges. You open it slowly, and it simply says, "You are dying, not someday, but now." Every minute, every hour, your life is being spent. The question is, are you buying what matters with your time, or are you throwing it away? That's not a message from a motivational coach or a best-selling author. That's a whisper from 2,000 years ago, from a man who saw through the illusions of wealth, fame, and busyness. His name was Lucius Annaeus Seneca. And today we're diving deep into the heart of his timeless message. Life is not short. You're just wasting most of it. You felt it, rushing through the day, multitasking, endlessly busy. But when night falls, it's hard to point to anything meaningful. The days blur, the years disappear, and quietly, life slips through your fingers. Seneca saw this clearly, and he gave it to us straight. It is not that we have a short time to live, but that we waste much of it. Let that sit for a moment. We keep saying, there's not enough time, but Seneca flips the mirror. It's not that time is short, it's that we give it away without thinking. We hand our days to distractions, to other people's expectations, to obligations we never chose. And before we know it, we've existed for years without really living a single day. Seneca was a Stoic philosopher, but don't picture a stone-faced monk in a cave. Stoicism isn't about suppressing emotions, it's about strengthening your soul. Stoicism teaches this. You don't control time, but you control how you use it. You don't control what happens, but you control how you respond. And a meaningful life isn't measured in years, but in depth. Seneca didn't just observe life, he studied it. He asked, what actually matters? What remains when everything else fades away? His answer? Time used wisely, time spent becoming wiser, time spent truly living. Seneca wasn't trying to scare you. He wasn't wagging a finger. He was trying to wake you up. He wanted you to feel that quiet urgency, the kind that makes you look around and ask, is this how I want to live? He wanted you to see each day as a sacred opportunity, not a throwaway. Because the tragedy, he said, isn't that we die, it's that we never really live. Seneca warns us about the busiest people, the ones who look successful on the outside, but are completely lost inside. People are frugal in guarding their property, but as soon as it comes to squandering time, they are most wasteful. These are the people who fill every moment but feel empty, chase success but lose themselves, react all day but never reflect. They die not from age, but from never pausing long enough to be alive. But there's another kind of person. They're calm, focused. They say no often, but for the right reasons. Their lives may look simple, but they feel full. These are the ones who prioritize wisdom over noise, create space for thinking, loving, being, value presence over performance, choose depth over distraction. They don't just pass through time, they shape it. They live like their life is their masterpiece. Seneca leaves us with a challenge. Begin at once to live and count each separate day as a separate life. This isn't about changing your entire life in one dramatic sweep. It's about starting today with small, sacred acts of presence. Here's how. 1. Audit your time like your life depends on it, because it does. Sit down for 10 minutes. No phone, no noise, just you and a notebook. Write down how you spend your days. Really, the meetings, the screen time, the silent moments, the wasted hours. And then ask, which of these gave me something real? Which ones just drained me? Because you can't change what you don't see. And once you see it, you can choose differently. 2. Guard your mornings like sacred ground. Most people let the world into their mind before they've even had a moment to breathe. Don't. Take the first 30 minutes of your day and claim them as yours. Read, write, meditate, walk, be silent. Feed your soul before you feed the world. When you win your morning, you reclaim your life, bit by bit. 3. Practice memento mori. Remember death to remember life. Seneca, like all Stoics, reminded himself daily, you will die. Not to be afraid, but to be focused. Ask yourself, if I had only a month left, would I still spend today like this? When you remember that nothing is promised, every moment becomes priceless. 4. Choose depth over distraction. In a world that thrives on shallow hits of dopamine, dare to go deep. Read slowly, speak meaningfully, disconnect often, and give your full attention to what's in front of you. Because the real riches of life, love, wisdom, peace, are found beneath the surface. Life is not a project to finish. It's not a race, not a checklist, not a game of achievements. It's a mystery to feel, a song that's still being written, a river you're meant to float in, not conquer. But somewhere along the way, we began treating life like a burden instead of a blessing. Something to survive, not something to touch with awe. Seneca invites us to return to life as it really is. Raw, unpredictable, breathtaking. The warmth of sunlight on your face, the sound of laughter echoing across a kitchen, the tears you hide, the ones you share, the silence that says more than words ever could. These aren't distractions from your life. They are your life. If we could just pause, truly pause, we'd see. The sacred isn't in far-off dreams. It's in the ordinary. And the ordinary is never ordinary when you're fully awake to it. To feel life means to let it in fully. The joy, yes, but also the ache. That's why so many people avoid presence. Because presence demands vulnerability. It asks us to sit with loneliness instead of scrolling past it. To face the question, am I happy? Instead of filling the silence with noise. But here's the paradox Seneca understood. If you numb the pain, you also numb the wonder. You can't selectively shut out emotion. The same heart that feels sorrow is the one that feels deep love, laughter, connection, peace. So the more you feel, the more alive you become. Don't be afraid to feel it all. Life isn't supposed to be comfortable. It's supposed to be real. And real things leave marks. That's what makes them unforgettable. Appreciation is the most underrated form of intelligence. It's the ability to pause and see what's already here. To say, this moment matters, not because it's perfect, but because it's yours. Seneca believed that a rich life isn't made of more experiences, but deeper ones. So take a moment today, not to wish for more, but to feel what you already have. That breath you just took, a gift. The person who texted you, a connection. The roof above your head, a miracle you stopped noticing. Gratitude isn't a ritual. It's a way of seeing clearly. And when you truly see life, you stop rushing it. You start honoring it. In the end, the good life isn't something you chase. It's something you notice and love and live right here in the now. Your life isn't waiting to begin. It already has. Seneca's voice echoes across time, not to tell you what to do, but to ask you a question. What are you doing with the time you already have? So today, stop running. Stop numbing. Stop delaying your own life. Look around. Breathe in this moment. And begin. Right now, not tomorrow. Life is long if you know how to use it.